This mare is starting out the pattern on a nice loose rein. She's very expressive through the bridle. Her ears are up. Smooth transition into the jog, very balanced and cadenced. Takes the log in stride. Again on a nice drape of rein. Smooth transition into the lope. Extremely collected, reaching out with a very long stride and a flat knee. Exhibiting a lot of self-carriage and flow. Nice rhythm. Very smooth lead change. Extremely simultaneous and flat. These are all plus worthy lead changes. Had a little bit of a skip on that last line change. By far the best change on that line was change number 2. That would easily be a +1. This mare's pace and rhythm is very consistent. Her top line is extremely steady. Again, another flat, fluid lead change. Give that a +1. Her frame never changes. She's maintaining a very pleasant expression throughout this pattern. Very willfully guided from the rider. Very subtle cues. Again, the pace never changes. She's super steady. Excellent mover. High degree of collection. Took that lope log in stride. Nice smooth back. Excellent example. This horse is already starting out the pattern on a little snugger rein than our last horse. Nice transition to the jog. Not quite as balanced and cadenced as our last horse. A little resistant on that lope transition. Again, being ridden on a tighter rein. This horse has a little bit more knee action up front when loping. Ears are a little pinned back, a little rigid through the poll here. These lead changes are functionally correct, but the horse is picking up speed as it goes down the line, elevating a little bit on the forehand. Again, not going to deduct any points, but also not going to earn any points on those. I would just leave all of those at a 0 score on quality. Again, functionally correct. The horse kind of shortened its stride a little bit coming around the corner. Rider is visibly cueing the horse with the reins. Not as fluid, so we're just going to leave these at 0. Again, having to be guided a little bit through the pattern. Did not maintain a very straight line of travel there with that change. Kind of shifted the hip over. Again, not a deduction, but not going to earn any points on it either. Little off center when loping over the log, but did take it in stride. Little mouthy on the back, slightly crooked. Again, just going to leave this horse at a 0, a very average example. We're starting out the pattern here with a little bit of a snug rein. A little restricted in the walk. I'd like to see it move forward a little bit more. Slight hesitation when jogging over that log. I would take off a half on the quality of that maneuver. Was a little overflexed when being cued to take up that lope transition. This horse needs to be more engaged from behind. Getting a little elevated through the pole, rigid through the pole, using the mouth, ears, and tail here. Again, needs more engagement and impulsion and drive off the hocks to be cleaner and more fluid through these lead changes. Getting very elevated as it changes. Pace is inconsistent. The quality of all those lead changes were at least a -1/2, if not a -1. This horse is definitely lacking rhythm and flow. Needs more impulsion in order to execute correct lead changes. And kind of shifted the hip over a little bit. Did not maintain a straight line of travel. The lack of collection is keeping this horse from being credit earning throughout this pattern. Also being guided on a tighter rein. Definitely lacking expression. Inconsistent with its top line. Manners are also coming into play here with the tail and with the mouth occasionally. Again, lacking rhythm and flow. That horse is consistently a -1/2 on maneuvers, occasionally a -1. By far the tightest rein we've seen yet. Tail's already going, ears are back, overflexed, over bridled. Sped up a little bit when jogging over that log. Again, with the tight rein, gonna have to take off a half. And this is a different pattern, so the horse is gonna lope to the left first and do the crossing changes here. Extremely mouthy, very sour. With that expression and that tight rein, that's going to be a -1 on that lead change. Gaping the mouth consistently here. Lacking a straight body position through that change. Again, because of the manners issues, I'm going to take off a 1 on quality. Same thing, kind of elevated through that change. Add an additional lead change there, but we're talking quality here. We're not going to discuss penalties at this time, but there was a penalty there. Again, you can see the mouth, you can see the resistance. The tail is going consistently. Again, elevated, overflexed, -1 on these. Could even do -1 and 1/2 on that last one. The horse is a functionally correct lead changer, but the manners and the mouth and the tight rein are coming into play here. Loped cleanly over the log, don't have an issue with that, but again, with the tight rein and the guidance, gonna have to take off at least a half. Again, mouthy on the back, at least a -1/2. This horse is being ridden in a snaffle bit with 2 hands, which is appropriate, but very elevated through the pole, jogging a little quick on a very tight rein, very resistant there in that lope transition. Again, we're loping to the left and doing crossing changes first. Okay, not discussing penalties, but this lead change is late and non-simultaneous, very resistant, broke gait. Gonna have to take off the maximum -1 1/2. Again, very resistant, -1 on that change. Again, late on the lead change here, front to rear, broke gait. So -1 1/2 on quality. This horse just lacks brokenness. Blatant disobedience there. -1 1/2 on quality. In addition to any penalties we're going to be adding up. Again, with this resistance, this mouth, the issues with the tight rein, the quality of movement, all of those changes are going to be -1 1/2. Loped cleanly over the log, but lacks frame, lacks expression, again lacks brokenness. So extremely poor example.